Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I of course am John, the creative blue collar guy, and I've got another little bit of a unboxing video today. It's not something new that I just bought. This actually came out in 2009, but it is a little bit of a rare thing that I have in my collection that sits up on this shelf here behind me that I thought would be kind of a cool thing to go through because it's not something you can go out and buy now unless you find it on eBay or something. So what we're going to be talking about today is Coheed and Cambria, one of my all-time top favorite bands. This particular box set is called the Neverender Children of the Fence box set. It's a combination of CDs and DVDs, and well, first I'll explain the term Children of the Fence. If you're new here, first of all, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave me a comment to let me know that you were here. And if you are a returning viewer, again, thank you so much for your support and for tuning in. So, Coheed and Cambria. Their singer and primary songwriter, Claudio Sanchez, also writes comic books that go along with their music. Again, I got a handful of them sitting on the shelf behind me. I'm not going to pull any of them out right now because I'll probably do some episodes specifically just on those. But in his comic book universe that he's woven into the music and then into the actual graphic novels and things that he's released, there's an iconic logo that the band is really known for, and it's a combination of circles and triangles. And in the stories, that's referred to as Heaven's Fence. So Children of the Fence is sort of what they have come to call their diehard fans, people like me who try to see them live whenever they're in town, who buy their deluxe box sets every time they release something new. So this was kind of a special treat, something that they put out. It was recorded over the course of 4 nights in New York City. It's let me back up a little bit. It's a live album, live DVDs, live CDs, and what they did was they traveled around to 4 different major cities, mostly in the US. One was London, and they did 4 nights in a row where they took each of their first 4 core albums, which were the only 4 that were out at the time, that sort of completed the main story arc of what Claudio Sanchez was trying to achieve with this story. Obviously, they've gone on to release many more albums since these 4, but these 4, he said, sort of completed like the main story, and now he could start to explore other aspects of that. So what they did, it was a short, I don't even know if I would necessarily call it a tour, but they did 4 nights in Chicago, 4 nights in Los Angeles, 4 nights in London, and then 4 nights in New York, which is where they're from, various parts of New York State. This was filmed in New York, New York, over the course of October 22nd through October 25th, 2008. The box set itself was released March 24th, 2009. And so, like I said, it includes the live performances on film, on DVD, live performances on CD, and then there's just a bunch of cool stuff inside the booklet, pictures and things of that sort. There's also a page in there I'm going to point out that if you, a lot of times with anything that they sell, if you pre-order within a certain amount of time, you get your name in the booklet somewhere. Obviously, hundreds upon thousands of people do this, so the font is always teeny tiny little font, and it's not alphabetical, so good luck finding your name. I usually don't. I think I might have in this one, but most of the albums I don't. So I will say the only thing I thought was a little bit of a bummer about these performances is that it was missing one member of their original lineup, drummer Josh Eppard. He was kind of going through some personal stuff and was out of the band for a few years. They brought in Chris Penny from the Dillinger Escape Plan, who is a great and very talented drummer in his own right. But I think it just like Josh's style a little bit more, just kind of his approach to the instrument. So it would have been really, really cool if he had been part of these, because he was part of those first 3 albums. The 4th one, No World for Tomorrow, I think I mentioned in a previous video with Roman, that actually Taylor Hawkins, rest in peace, recorded the drums on that 4th album, because Josh had left, Chris had come in, but due to a contractual obligation, he was unable to record on the album, even though he'd been touring with them for some time at that point. Couple of fun little things in here that I'll point out before I get into flipping through the pages and showing everything off is, again, like I said, each night they would play one of their albums from front to back. So that very first night, you got Second Stage Turbine Blade front to back as it was recorded on the album. Obviously, night one had no encores because they didn't want to give anything away before other nights. Night 2, In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3, they did 1 or 2 encores from the first album, kind of played it again. Night 3 was actually a really cool one. They did a really extended cut of the song Final Cut. And I actually got a chance to see them do this live. The very first time I saw Coheed live, and what made me a diehard fan for life. I still remember the day waking up to a text message, day of. I had bought a couple of their albums at this point, but I wasn't really into them like I am now quite yet. And this friend texts me and says, Coheed's playing in town tonight. Tickets are $20. They're still available. Do you want to go? And I thought, okay, $20. Why not? I'll go for it. And I am a fan for life after seeing them live. But I think at that time, because that was in 2008, they were, I'm sure, preparing for this Neverender thing that they were going to do in 4 different major cities. So they ended their set when I saw them, and just like how they end night 3 in this DVD box set, is they do, I want to say it's probably a 20-minute long version of the song Final Cut, the last track on Good Apollo on Burning Star 4. And they go through the little bit of vocals and lyrics that are in the song, and then Claudio and Travis are trading guitar solos back and forth. Travis starts using the talk box, and he and Claudio are talking back and forth through their guitars to where Claudio Sanchez is literally screaming into the pickups of his guitar. Claudio brings out a theremin. It's one of those things that kind of has the antenna and the metal coil, and you play it with your hands. Then he starts playing the theremin with his hair, because if you've seen this guy, he's got the big giant mop of curly hair. And so they each kind of go around and trade off solos, and one by one, each band member walks off the stage. So then it goes over to Mick Todd, who kind of does a bass solo. And then they had a touring member, Wes Styles, on keys at the time. He did a little keyboard solo and walked off. Mick and Chris kind of went back and forth a little bit, and then even Mick walks away. They leave Chris Penny out there to do a drum solo by himself for an extended period of time. Whole band comes back out. They go into the kind of final crescendo of the song and end it, and it's just mind-blowing if you're any kind of a fan of this band. Then they also did, for encores on night 3, Everything Evil, cover of The Trooper by Iron Maiden, Devil in Jersey City, and a medley, some stuff from the earlier albums. Night 4, which is No World for Tomorrow, their encores there, where they did a song called I Shall Be Released, featuring Warren Haynes, better known from the Allman Brothers and from Gov't Mule. And then they played their big hit song that everyone knows, Welcome Home, again, still featuring Warren Haynes. So, without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. I'll get my face out of the way here. All right, so there we've got the cover. Maybe not quite as clear or easy to see, but in the background there's a little bit of that Heaven's Fence logo that I was talking about, and why it's called the Children of the Fence box set. And then of course we've got the Dragonfly, which if you own any of the comics or read any of the comics, you've learned kind of what the significance of that is. So then here's sort of the cover of the book, Neverender 2008, Children of the Fence edition. So let's pull this whole thing out of here, and then we'll... So like I said, a lot of it's just kind of photos from the concerts. Fold this out here. This first one is the CDs. So these are just the audio discs here. Get that in frame. Here we go. So I believe, 4. So Second Stage Turbine Blade, In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3, Good Apollo on Burning Star 4 through Fears of the Eyes of Madness, Volume 1, and then Good Apollo on Burning Star 4, Volume 2, No World for Tomorrow, all the live versions from each night, recorded in New York there. Kind of just a letter from the band talking about this box set, thanking the fans for ordering it. And then here we go. So there we go. We got a picture of Claudio rocking his double neck Gibson that he always plays on Welcome Home. Which he always does a solo with that thing behind his head. So somehow he gets that big double neck Gibson behind all that hair and still does his solo. Everyone's lined up outside. Mick Todd, who also again is unfortunately not in the band. That's another one they think is another story for another time, but it's a really unfortunate story, what happened with him. There's the setup. I always forget this is back when Travis was still rocking his long hair. Their touring member, Wesley Stiles, over there on keys for a while. I think he was playing with them when I saw them too, because again, it was around the same time. It was the summer just before they did this. Night 1. Unfortunately, I'm looking at this upside down, so I can't read what that text says. The second stage turbine blade. Got a picture of Travis over here to start it off. Chris Penny on drums. Again, great talented drummer in his own right, but I'm very happy that Josh is back. It's just really cool to see when original members are able to come back, although they do have a different bass player now, but it's really cool to see Josh come back in. And I have seen they've done a couple of Neverender tours where they'll do an entire tour that's just one album, so they'll tour and just play the second stage turbine blade every night in every city. I've seen a handful of those, which has been cool to see Josh back now when I get to actually see these live, when they play these albums from front to back as they were recorded. And then we're on to night 2 in Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3. Another thing I thought was kind of funny on these DVDs is that Claudio, the lead singer and frontman, Claudio Sanchez, doesn't tend to talk a whole lot. Even in the times that I've seen them live, many times, he doesn't talk a lot. For being the frontman of a band, he seems pretty introverted. And I think it was either on the first or second night of these performances, they play a first couple songs and he welcomes everybody and he says, we weren't really sure, what should we do, like should we talk, should we not, and he puts it up to the audience and he says, what do you think, should we talk? And of course they all yell and cheer and whatever, and he goes, you mother. I don't think he wanted to talk. I think he wanted to just play through the albums and just have a good time. So there, I think, is where he's playing the theremin. Looks like. Yeah. The double neck Gibson. On night 3, when they were doing Good Apollo Volume 1, they had some backup singers. He's probably in a photo here somewhere. They had another guy on like hand percussion, like kind of some bongos and chimes and stuff. So I have mixed feelings about that one. It's kind of odd, and it doesn't really sound like it's anywhere on the album when they recorded it. Travis rocking the slide guitar. I feel like they need to incorporate that into their live shows a little bit more again. That was cool. All right, and then we're on to the final night, night 4, Good Apollo on Burning Star 4, Volume 2, No World for Tomorrow. This is the one that the studio recording has Taylor Hawkins on drums, because Josh had unfortunately exited the band at that time. But like I said, I'm glad to see that he's back. Yes, they're autographing posters for the show. A couple of acoustic songs. So this song, that might be their song Mother Superior, that was on No World for Tomorrow. Some years ago, I guess right before this album was released, I went to the NAMM show in Anaheim. If you don't know what that is, it's the North American Music Merchants Convention that takes place every year in the Anaheim Convention Center in, I think, January or February. And it's anything and everything that has to do with music, guitar manufacturers, live sound, drums, everything. They set up in the convention center and they're there for 4 or 5 days, and just big trade show type of thing. And artists will come and do autograph signings and performances. And I was there that year. Claudio Sanchez and Travis Stever were at the Taylor Guitars booth, and they're playing all the songs, you know, Welcome Home and whatnot. And Claudio just says, real nonchalant, like, here's a brand new song we just wrote in our hotel room last night. And they play this incredibly, I think it's either 8 or 10 minutes long, brand new song that ended up getting on the next album. There's a bonus disc, a DVD with that album that has that performance on there. So it's kind of cool. I can watch that and say, oh, I was there. I was in the very, very back of the room, but I remember being there and seeing it. Probably have a couple pictures or videos somewhere. Yeah, and I think that's Warren Haynes, who said was featured on the encores of Night 4 and the Allman Brothers. All right, and then just kind of some more fun behind-the-scenes photos. And then this is the page I was talking about. See how itty-bitty, teeny-tiny font that is? I mean, I can't read it from where I'm sitting right now, and I'd have to get a magnifying glass to even try. But these are all the names of the people that pre-ordered it by a certain date. So my name is in here somewhere. And then there's kind of the rest of the liner notes and legal jargon. And then the DVDs. Some more photos featured there. This one had 5 discs, because then there's a documentary with some extra bonus stuff there after the fact. So... And then also included in there, I've never met any of the guys in the band, but every time you pre-order anything, there's always something in there that the band is autographed. So I have their signatures on an awful lot of stuff, but here's the certificate of authenticity that came with this particular set. And then, as I was saying on the cover, the dragonfly is always kind of a staple thing, a part of their logo. So this is like a, I don't know, I guess brass or some sort of metal dragonfly that was in the box set there. See if you can get it on camera, if it'll focus. It's got that Heaven's Fence logo etched on it on the body. Let's put this guy back together. Alright, so there you have it. Sort of my unboxing many years later of my Coheed and Cambria live box set there. Like I said, you might be able to find some of these on eBay or something, I don't know, but even the audio recordings are not on Spotify, even though all their other albums are. You might be able to find some of the videos on YouTube, I don't know. I honestly haven't really looked because I've got that. Again, thank you so much for being here. If you've watched this far through, please make sure to hit that like button. And again, if you are new, also make sure to hit that subscribe button. I am John, the creative blue collar guy. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.